Hello and welcome to Simulacra Studio presents Trinity, Continuum, Aeon, Lunar Rocks. I am your story guide, Scott, and we have the full table here today. We have Murphy playing Hannah, we've got Nigel playing Bram, we've got Diane playing Frankie, and Puka playing Mycelium, or Mice. So when we last left off, our talented underground bang artists had quite a session of stumbling upon and maneuvering their way into uncovering quite a lot of secrets about the setting and what's going on in the wider world. However, Bram was not there for any of that. I believe we had written off Bran as saying having done some gangster shit that was occupying his time. So what I'd like to ask Nigel is, what kind of gangster shit were you pulled away for? What's the flavor of criminal activity that you've needed to occupy your time with?
Well, how much have we gone into detail about the Vikings' specific criminal peccadilloes?
Their bread and butter is weapons, is arms dealing. Not so much in terms of they don't go so far as to do big time deals in weapons that would threaten Luna. So they don't do things, they don't put things in the hands of people that would threaten like the dome or environmental things, but they do kind of deal in small arms, ammunition, things that would raise the ire of Luna security, as well as they do a lot of bigger deals, not necessarily in Luna proper, but they facilitate weapons dealings in like military grade stuff. So they kind of they do the dealing in Luna space, but the actual transfers get done off in like outposts and other things. So that's their bread and butter. They do, a lot of low level criminal stuff, some low level dealing, protecting their turf. Very little in the way of extortion and the like, but their bread and butter is weapons.
Let's say then that Bram was taken somewhere away. I like the idea of him being part of maybe a particularly lucrative or even dangerous op, maybe somewhere out on an outpost, kind of far off, still on Luna, but somewhere far away. Primarily providing security, just part of the security detail.
Okay.
For maybe like an off-world gun shipment. Something can't comes in from off-world and then leaves and only touches lunar soil for a little bit, but somehow the Vikings.
Yeah, I like that. I'll put my own spin on it here. I will say that what happened is that with all of the armaments and movements that were moving to load up on the jump ship that you witnessed leaving and then discovered was a part of a big military effort, a case of something big fell off of the transport.
Right.
And like some actually like high grade military armaments got redirected to one of the Vikings off Olympus outposts. And you were there to handle sort of the deal and the trade-off for that. So that took you pretty far out onto the lunar surface, off into one of the old mining encampments that has been abandoned and reinfolded into the Vikings' territory. And all through that, I will remind you of the last thing that you kind of came to the conclusion of when you were talking with Frankie on the top of that play structure, was that you had determined that you did in fact want to get out, that you wanted to leave at the very least your criminal life behind and hopefully leave Luna at some point.
Is Mao, my handler, present in this operation?
Yeah, he is there. He's right there with you, handling kind of he's kind of handling the deal itself, whereas you're part of the security detail.
I'm going to assume that either on the way out or on the way back in, there's probably enough time to have a conversation, in as much as I can have privacy with him.
Yeah. You basically ask to get they take some smaller transports, going different directions so that it's not easy to travel. You manage to get into the transport with him, and are on your way back to Luna, and we can have that conversation.
Okay.
Mal is kind of like definitely relieved that it went through. Definitely relieved that the legions didn't show up to stomp everyone's asses. So he's in a good mood. So you get the sensation, you kind of hear it in his thoughts of like, that went really well. That there's a lot of pressure off his mind. You kind of get this inspiration that this would be a good time to have a talk.
So, Mao, I've been thinking, and I wanted your opinion on something. Um, I've been with the Vikings for a long time, and for a long time, I thought that was all it was ever going to be. But past couple of weeks, I've been doing a lot of thinking, and kind of want to see if there's something else out there that I can do. But I don't know, man. I've been doing this so long. I don't want you or anybody else to think that I'm not loyal, that I don't care about y'all, or that I don't appreciate the opportunity that y'all gave me. But I don't even know how to start talking about this. So that's why I'm here. You're my boss. What do I do?
He kind of definitely leans back a bit, kind of puts his head back on the headrest of the transport chair, and kind of like closes his eyes and rubs his temples for a few moments. And he says, Bram, there's a reason I gave you your most recent long-term assignment. I thought that something that might tempt you, and I did it because you're at a stage in your development in our thing where if you were to back out, it'd be better to do it now than before you got deeper into this thing. And I can't say that I'm not disappointed, that I'm not sad, that that I didn't want you to stay with this, but I kind of had a feeling, nothing I can put my finger on, nothing I can point and say he's not in it, because you never were disloyal, and you never were less than competent. But I kind of started to have a feeling. And he says, there's three things. There's three things that you need to know. And he rummages through kind of the jumpsuit area, and he like unzips like a layer of secure areas, and he pulls out this very kind of like brutal technological looking ring. And he kind of thumbs it around, and he says, the first thing is what you already know. Blood in, blood out. He says, give me a hand.
And I give him my shooting hand.
He kind of looks at that, nods, and he puts it on the tip of your pinky on that hand. And it kind of comes alive a little bit. It kind of drags itself down, it secures itself on the first joint. And it sort of turns itself around so that where you can see a little sort of activation button, like a little nub on the top. And it says, I know you know that. And you just show me you understand that.
I'll reach over and I'll hit the button.
There is a pop and a flash and a searing pain as the ring clamps down and cauterizes and removes the top of your pinky. And as you're flailing around, it crawls down to the second joint of your pinky. And you can see it. It's just black, cauterized. It's not bleeding, but it still hurts. And he says the second thing is when you're out, you're out. It's all going to be on you. You, your mother, all on you. If you come to us for help, you're coming to us as a client. Now, we're not going to forget you, but you're going to be on the other side of this thing. Show me you understand.
Is he looking at the ring again?
Yes.
I'll key it again.
Same thing. Flash, sear, and it severs your finger at the second joint and crawls down to the base. Third thing you need to know. You head out. The door will be open. You can always come home. But if you do, that door closes behind you forever. Show me that you understand. Flash, sear, and this time the ring kind of seals over itself and permanently clamps on to the place where your finger was. I know you know, because you've been told what it means when you see one of those on someone's hand. Now you know how it got there. Where do you want to be left off?
Olympus is fine.
All right. And the rest of the transport back to Olympus is left in silence. He directs it to go to basically the nearest public transport, and it stops, and he plugs in a destination that he's going to be going, just as you're kind of like directing your minicomp to interface with the public transit system. And as his train pulls up, and right before he gets on, he turns around and makes to embrace you.
Oh yeah, I'll give him a hug.
Gives you a really long, strong hug, pats you on the back a couple times, and says, "You take care. You understand why we had to do this quick, right?"
I do. You take care, and if you need me,
if I need you, I won't. You're out.
I'm out.
Best of luck to you, man. And he gets on his train. And as your mini comp is syncing up to the local Olympus OpNet is when you start receiving any messages that might have been sent to Bram after the rest of the group's meeting at that diner. What would those messages look like?
Well,
Bunch of emoji.
I know Frankie's probably probably sent several messages going, got some new deets. Where are you? You probably get also things of, I was fucking right. I'm always fucking right. And oh shit, this goes way deeper than I thought.
From Hannah, you just get a very short, turns out it wasn't so bad that we interfered with Aeon. More later. Also, just imagine being the engineers who got the specs for that ring when they had to design it. Anyway. Hey, what are we building? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I would, and I don't think, you haven't really had time to get friendly with mice, so I wouldn't imagine there would be anything other than emojis. But yeah, you guys have parted ways with your contact from the Novacore group, and I would assume that you guys head back to your crash space.
Yeah.
After all that, how would Bram respond to those messages?
Probably by not answering any of them, like looking over them and then just deciding it would be easiest to go to the mutual crash pad and just meet up with everyone there.
Okay, so we will fast forward. You get on a train that takes you to that level. And so what's the mood like when Bram shows up at the crash base?
I will say that Bram in the past has worn black gloves, and those are still part of his ensemble.
Okay, noted.
Hannah's pacing around, but not really saying a lot. Just like, I'm gonna wash this dish. No, I'm not. I'm gonna start making something to eat. No, never mind. As I'm just mulling over what our last conversation.
Mice is probably at their rig deck, I guess, whatever sort of complex computer machinery, and is like really intensely working on something. Probably doesn't even look up when Bram walks in.
Frankie's probably space cadet mode. She's like probably out of it as she's like going through her past emails. Now that they're in a secure location, and she's also just kind of like trying to put pieces together. But when Bram comes in, she's like, "Oh, thank goodness! I thought you were dead."
Hannah when she sees that you're there because she didn't realize you walked in. Sorry, Bram. I was distracted.
It's all right. No, I had a job. Got done with it. Went smooth, but it was a ways out. So sorry, I was not really in a place where I could respond to anything. But it's over now, so here I am.
Hey,
What?
Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was going to ask how noticeable, if his injury is noticeable, especially the 2 dots in keen sight.
Actually, go ahead and give me a Vitikinesis roll for your Acrylian eye.
Vitikinesis?
Yeah, that would probably be the most apparent thing that
sure.
comes up to you.
That is, sorry, it's been a minute. That's just my my dots in Vitikinesis and
your psi.
Okay.
Your highest dots in your Vitikinesis modes.
2 successes.
Oh yeah, his body is lit up with adrenaline, and you can see this just sort of this sense this big angry spot on his shooting hand under his glove, and yeah, it is not to the degree of danger, but it is certainly he is definitely seeing the after effects of a traumatic injury.
Can I feel her vitakinetic scan on me?
I will drop my Cycloak once we're back home, just because I want to relax. So if that matters,
Give me an attunement roll. It's your highest mode
Bram?
plus psi.
Okay. Psi and telekinesis 3. Two successes.
It's a very passive thing, but you do sort of you feel the psi coming off of them, sort of like it's kind of like an echolocation sense, like you just feel like a bounce of psi washing over you from their direction.
I would like to just give her the telepathic equivalent of like of a wink and a nod, just like this very quiet like thought sensation of I'm okay, I'll tell you later.
you get back the mental emoji equivalent of got it, not my business. But she has stopped pacing around now. She's kind of looking at you like very curious about what state you're in.
So, sorry, what were you right about, Frankie?
That this shit goes way deeper than anything we could have ever thought.
All right,
Well,
so remember those guys at that bar that we helped escape that lady who was chasing them, and then we were worried they were aberrant cultists, and I had the contact info. Remember all that?
yeah, I do.
Okay, so we ran into that lady again, and she said she
Ran
wanted to
into
meet.
the strong word.
You ran
I
into.
I stalked them for a second.
All right, yeah. You could tell this part if you want, Frankie. But anyway, we ended up meeting up with the those kids, and it it was something. It was something else. Well, we just met up with one of them. But anyway,
Are they
I'm
aberrant
babbling.
cultists?
I don't think so. If they are, they don't know it.
Oh, thank God.
And I kind of just like opened the floor to Frankie.
Okay.
One thing.
So
Oh,
yeah, go
sorry.
ahead. Go.
I wanted to ask Scott where we left off. We were kind of still going back and forth about whether or not we were actually going to facilitate a meeting for them. And I know we kind of been like, well, don't meet with the detective lady. But were we still going? Were they interested in meeting up with the person, the gentleman from the from IRSA, ISRA? Sorry.
Yeah, they definitely. You guys kind of settled on definitely don't want to meet with the Aeon lady.
Or Ann, yeah.
Yeah, if you could set up a private meeting that you felt good about with someone from ISRA, then
Right.
that would be something they'd be more open to. But yeah, they definitely don't want to talk to Aeon.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Sorry, I just want to make sure I had that right.
Yeah, Frankie's definitely like, mm-mm. Uh,
Oh, one question that I have before, since we did kind of leave that off on a dramatic moment.
Mhm.
Would Frankie have ever brought up either to the group, your group, or to that the Novacore girl about the additional communique that you had gotten regarding like some sort of secret Aeon like archive site that they wanted you to look into?
being that Diane completely forgot about this, sure, yes. So I
Okay.
can be reminded.
Yeah, to recall, and since you would have shared that, you basically have this very brief snippet of information about an Aeon archive site somewhere on the moon, probably deeper in one of the deeper tunnels, not exactly nearby the place that you guys already know about, but you could probably access it through that same like level of tunnels and systems.
Okay.
And it had the only like tangible piece of data that said that they had it is had a place where it could have information about paramorphs, psychomorphs, and exomorphs. That's sort of the only little tidbit of what might be there. And although none of you can really, you might be able to think your way around what those terms means, but those terms are not readily part of common lexicon.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, she would have shared that. Kind of, probably she used it as kind of like a trust building exercise with the Nova Corps.
Yeah.
Basically, like, hey, you shared with me this, I'm going to share this with you.
Yeah. She basically said she was going to talk to her people, and she said they would be very interesting in teaming up with you to try and find that site.
Yeah. She's
If only we knew some kind of sentient AI that can manipulate the transit network down there.
what? What? Who knew? So Frankie kind of like sits back and she has this look on her face like she's trying to put everything together. And she kind of pauses for a moment and looks at Bram and tilts her head curiously to the side. Well, she is not psychic and she has spent a good deal of time with Bram and can probably tell that something's not quite right, though she doesn't know what it is.
Okay, you can make an empathy roll.
Sure.
Bram, if you would like to try and hide your swallow your feelings, that would be an opposed integrity roll.
I'll do manipulation integrity.
That sounds perfect.
2, 3.
Yeah, you pick up on it. He is holding himself like a wounded animal that's trying to not look like prey.
Gotcha. She like legitimately like she comes over and she puts her hands to her temple. She's like, "Look, there is a whole bunch of information that we just got that is going to blow your mind." And she kind of like gets up close into your face and she just kind of tilts her head and she looks at you and everyone else can see the like it's clear like she's like trying to suss something out and then she like walks around Bram like does like a circle around Bram and then just kind of like leans into him uh being very like affectionate towards him and she kind of just puts her head on his shoulder and she says, "So they're fucking lying to us. They've been fucking lying to us. Like we've been fucking saying they've been lying to us. They hide shit and it's awful."
Who is lying to who?
Aeon's lying to everybody.
I mean, like what?
Well, they showed us a very convincing, I believe it was real communique from, I guess they call themselves Novas, not aberrants, other people real powerful like that, that offer an Earth help, but saying they wouldn't come back unless they were invited because we sent them away a generation ago. And it seemed very, there's more subtleties to it than that, but if they have that and they're sitting on it, that seems like a pretty big deal.
Huge, big deal.
Like,
Especially,
I'm sorry. There's aberrants that aren't aberrants.
yeah,
not
What?
aberrants, powerful.
they're called novas. So
Yeah.
there was this whole different like nova culture thing that like happened. It was back in it was a while ago. And like
I will interject here. In this edition, it is the complete rewrite of history did not get happen. It's known that
Oh, okay.
it's known that aberrancy didn't happen to all novas.
Okay.
okay.
It's known that there were novas who held on to their humanity. It was just it reached a
Is
point where they had to all go because the fighting between the factions just got too out of hand.
Is that
So
like common knowledge for somebody who like kind of graduated high school, or would that be
yeah,
like needing to read people's history of the United States or something to really know about?
that it's probably less common from an FSA background,
Gotcha.
but it's
Okay.
not hidden information.
Right.
Like
Something
yeah,
I probably wouldn't have been exposed to
Yeah.
until meeting these people.
yeah, probably.
Whereas Bram effectively has a 6th grade education,
Yeah.
so
Well,
he very explicitly did not finish any sort of like primary or high school or middle school or high school. He finished essentially. He essentially got done with the 5th grade and then crime. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure Frankie would know,
Yeah,
since
Frankie
Frankie's
would know,
been
yeah.
making all of those checks and is a conspiracy nut.
Mhm.
So, but I mean, look, they weren't all aberrants. I mean, you know that, right? Like there were some that actually retained most of themselves. Like you all do realize that, right?
Honestly, no.
Yeah, no.
Cool.
I mean, well, obviously now I know, but or at least I guess not until now.
All right. So mini lesson here. So back in the way back, like there were novas, and they were not aberrants that we know them as. The aberrants are the ones that have like lost themselves entirely. They're, horrible monsters, that sort of shit, right? So there were novas who had powers but kept most of themselves. But like they left. They got sent away because when they would war with each other, basically all of us normal people basically got fucked. So they basically made the call and slash, I guess, got convinced, booted, whatever have you, depends on who you ask, left. And we haven't heard from them since, but we still, get aberrant attacks, right? Well, this communique is from those people. I think they called it, was it Eden, Scott?
Yeah, Eden is the planet that they have
They
colonized.
they have a whole fucking planet, man. They called it
said-
Eden.
Had people like them and people who weren't.
And they said that they could help. Like, I'm pretty sure they're fucking aware of everything that's going on right now, including our big war that's about like going on down the way there. And like, so it's all freaking connected because because I've been trying to figure out how the oh goodness, the crystal people, what the hell? What are those
Diodes.
aliens called?
The
The chromatics.
Yeah, the chromatics, them peoples. Them, I've been trying to figure out how they knew how to use teleportation and that type of tech or that type of abilities so quickly, right? Because they said that they kidnapped a whole bunch of like people and got them, but they know how to use them, even though they supposedly had never used that kind of technology powers before, right? And I've been trying to figure it out. And and I put it together when we were over there in the garden, and we were all like talking, and Mice was like really really into this laser light show that was going on at the moment, which was some type of chromatic visual I don't know. Anyway, but I put it all together in my head and it made sense that they have backers. They have someone backing them. They have a proxy or something. They have something there that is basically giving them information, showing them how to use this tech or this abilities or whatever have you, whatever you want to call it. So I'm thinking that this is tied in to the Novas in the fact that they don't want us to know about them because I think that I lost my train of thought.
Do
He
you
just kind of
think they think
pauses.
Anova was involved in allying with chromatics? Is that what you're
That
trying to say?
that's what I'm thinking has happened. But I don't know I don't know if that's accurate, but I think it's somehow connected into what's going on currently because these novas that have contacted us are offering aid and help to us. But they're not actually telling all of us about it. they're keeping it hidden because they're trying to keep it as a power play move. Because if they bring the Novas back, that's another basically freaking queen on the chessboard, right? It's another freaking super powerful entity in the game that they don't have control over.
Who is they? Who is doing all of this stuff? Like,
Aeon.
they're they're philanthropic organization.
Hannah, while she's talking, I've gone to a whiteboard that we usually use for drafting out ideas, and I'm just writing all the parties down. And
What?
You have to-
I don't have any yarn handy, but
They provide relief to people who are in like bad places, you know, like they give you food and water and stuff. They don't do shady stuff. What
Are
are you
you
talking about?
nuts? You are absolutely. You're talking crazy stuff right now, right? Do you
never heard
hear
of an
the words that
authority
are
that doesn't
coming
do
out of
some
your
shady
mouth?
stuff.
What? I don't understand. They're a relief organization,
N-
right?
No, sweetheart. No.
I mean,
They are way more than that. So, like,
that's
dude,
certainly an important and public-facing part of what they do. That's kind of what I've always.
that's the image they want to have, but no, that is not what they do.
Okay, so they do other stuff.
Well,
Yeah, it's all about
obviously,
power.
they're involved in trying to root out aberrant cults. I mean, that's what that one we met was up. That one woman who worked for him we met was up to.
I don't think it was actually supposed to be an aberrant cult. I think they found out what they have.
Could well be she may have just said
See,
that to us to scare us, which worked
that.
on me.
That. That is what they think, and that is what they are trying to pass off as what's going on, but that's not actually the case. They can't. It would damage their reputation for us to find out, or for the general public to find out, that there is a group, a whole planet of Novas that is offering aid and help. And you have to remember, these Novas came from us. They came from here. They were originally a part of us
I
that
mean,
left.
they're still people, right? I mean, they're human,
Yeah,
right?
they're
Kinda.
I mean, they're different, but I mean, eh. But the point is that it would hurt their image. And the thing is that they're not the big, most powerful dog anymore in this fight. They used to be like super powerful, and they used to be like the ones that are like puppet mastering everything else. But they're not the only big player anymore.
Okay, wait. So why would, if we're assuming what you're saying is true, why would the Novas care about Eon's reputation? Why
They
wouldn't
don't.
the Novas? Well, then why don't the Novas talk to somebody other than Eon?
I think
Because
that message was not meant necessarily for Aeon, is my guess. I think it was sort of a generic leadership of Earth, which as far as, or and
Mhm.
Luna or whatever, which is Aeon, right? I mean, outside of individual nationalities.
It is true. It's also the fact that I think that Aeon was the one that basically, well, not
Sent them
basically,
away,
yeah,
right?
got basically in, not hijacked, intercepted the communique. So the last person, or the last entity that they knew existed, was Aeon. So they sent it to Aeon, and Aeon has taken it and gone, "Oh, nope, not coming back, not today." And they're like
Or they're
hiding
doing
it.
something with information we don't have any insight into that maybe isn't so sinister. I don't know.
Oh no, it's totally sinister. I mean, the whole thing is, look, Aeon is also the ones that are behind the whole like the whole thing with like the proxies that I was talking about. Whatever happened amid all the proxies, give them all that power, the ones that behind the whole like Psi core and the Psi vat thing that they put them in to go through the whole thing, they're all behind that too. Like, we already talked about this. That was the part of the thing I showed you guys with the proxy thing. Whatever happened here on Luna.
There's been a lot of skepticism on Bram's face, but once you bring that up, that there has been something shady going on with scions and syads. There is like a little bit of a light bulb that goes off. Okay, so you might have a point.
Because hear me out. If they're the ones behind like the whole psi movement and all that jazz, which is I believe that they are, they likely were trying to generate the syads and cultivate them as either a defense or an answer to the novas, which they couldn't control.
So novas generate spontaneously as a scions, the official ones at least, go through the chamber. Is that the idea here?
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
But we didn't.
Uh-huh. Which we have been saying that you all actually can generate spontaneously, but they don't want people to know that, because if they know that, then it becomes a security breach. And they
And it
don't
calls
want
for
it to
eugenics.
happen. Ah, because if they find out that you are, naturally forming, then they're probably going to want to study you so they can make sure that whatever you do, whatever made you you, doesn't happen again. Because if they don't go through the whole programming, then they are no longer under their control and under their thumb.
Now, on a more practical level, not sure what this has to do with any of us, like on the day to day, but it certainly is mind blowing. Like, as in, we don't even have a copy of that recording. It's not like we can show it to you, unfortunately.
I mean,
Uh,
do you
No, but
remember it?
I'm about to
oh,
say, we can like he can do the thing with his brain and the brain
yeah.
thing, right? Alton, are
Yeah.
you okay?
I'm fine. I'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, you can. It's not like a perfect one-for-one recording, but you can like look into one of their minds and like see their memories of that as they are recalling it. Yeah, you remember that page in Stellar Frontiers with the message from Apollo, Nigel?
Yes.
It's that.
Okay, gotcha. Huh. Huh. Okay.
And
So,
something that I'll bring up since you all are remembering it, whatnot. That message was directly addressed to the United Nations.
Oh,
does the
okay.
United Nations exist
It
anymore?
absolutely does.
Okay.
It is more powerful, especially in space, than it is today. But it is uh, it is definitely a very powerful force in human affairs.
Okay. Um. Okay. So I believe you. This is weird, and it's definitely going to take some adjustment on my behalf to try to comprehend all of this. So what do we do? What is this?
That's kind of what I'm saying. I don't really know what we could do with this kind of thing. I mean,
Like, come
hopefully, whoever.
on, archive. Duh, we're gonna go spelunking.
Well, I mean, do you want to spread this information? Because that's kind of what you
As
want to
he's
do.
writing that, you kind of see Hannah kind of like gaze off into the distance, and you see her like Muzzy and dot dot dot,
Hmm.
and like, bang shows are good at it. Anyway, all right. Well, would
First,
that even?
we need more information before we go spreading this, because they're gonna want proof, and we need to find something that they can't actually refute.
Yeah. So this,
Or leverage. One of the two.
yeah, if you wanted to do well, and that's kind of two birds in the bush, one stone. You know, you get the you get whatever is in these recordings from this archive, and you've got both material you can use, and you got like from a media point of view, you've got material, and you've got material you can blackmail somebody with.
Yeah, it's great. That's why we had to go to the archive.
Only problem is if you use it to distribute information, it loses its blackmail capabilities.
Y'all keep
Yeah, that's
role
okay.
playing. I gotta step away for just 1 sec.
Yeah, that's okay.
I mean,
Because you have to realize that the whole point to going and getting this information is to make people aware. That's the whole point. That is literally okay. So that's the witness in me speaking as a witness. Yes, hello, I am card carrying member. Sure, but the point is that we are trying to pull the wool out from people's eyes so they can see the truth of what's going on, because we are sick and tired of people not being informed and lies continuing to happen, and then people cannot make informed decisions.
about something happening real far away with people we'll never meet. Hey, Mice, what's your take on all this? You've been real quiet.
Oh yeah,
Just
mice.
yeah.
Meet Bram. Bram,
We-
mice.
We met briefly. I think you may have threatened to shoot somebody, and then you were digging creatures out of the soil.
Yeah,
That was
good times.
That was the context. I stand by what I said last time. It's all very fascinating, and it's all very interesting. And you know me, I'm on board with all of this, but maybe it's my upbringing. I still have hesitation, like what if the Eden folks are not as altruistic as
They could be
we
tricking
might
us.
hope?
I mean,
Yeah.
it felt real when we were looking at the recording, but I don't know.
We're not
They're
even
really a
tricking,
Nova.
but just, in
Well,
my
yeah.
experience, help very rarely comes with 0 strings attached. And I'm just curious about getting more information would be nice.
They could be doing that whole lying through omniscience thing, like not really saying the whole truth.
Something.
Or there could be something happening that we are way off base and we just don't even know.
It's true.
What I'm really wondering is if folks at the UN actually got this message, or if Aeon completely suppressed it, except for like some random punk kids who got it, which is crazy.
That's
And it
actually
makes you
not that
wonder how they
crazy.
were the ones that got their hands on it.
That would be the witnesses. They said that.
Yeah,
We're
somebody,
very good at
that
what
thing
we
in
do.
Peru, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're very good at what we do.
Cool.
Okay, so it sounds like you all want to go to this archive.
Yes, I do.
I mean, I'm up for anything on a Tuesday night,
I've got a lot of nervous energy to burn off. I wouldn't mind doing a little exploring.
All right, where is this place?
Oh, it's down deep. Hey, mice. I think it's time to talk to your
Yes.
AI friend.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, I wonder what he's doing right now.
Oh yeah,
Might
mice has an
sends a
AI
message
girlfriend.
to not girlfriend, just
A
acquaintance.
girl who's a friend.
Girlfriend.
I feel like girl is a very loose term because
Fair. Friend.
she's a collection of subroutines ultimately.
Well, so am I. All gender is a continuum, we know.
Yeah.
It's fine. You are correct. It is their friend. And did we not tell you about like the whole like super like people hardcore jacked into like some old ass system that's totally illegal? Did we not tell you about that way down deep? Oh yeah, no, mice had to like go clean out their feeder system. It was real gross.
I've done grosser, but yeah, that was top 5.
Go away from one fucking job. Sorry, one job.
Are you really okay? You really don't seem okay.
We just dropped a lot of information on him real quick. Seeing
It's not
your
that.
hesitation, yes, trying to smooth it over.
Just I'm gonna need some time to process, and yeah, just that's wild. That's a lot of wild stuff, all kind of at once. So, thank you for keep me in the loop, I guess. But yeah, I need to go to see my mother.
I'll walk you out.
Frankie,
Okay.
reaches out and literally puts both of her hands on either side of your face and like makes you look at her.
No.
Whatever the fuck happened, I hope you're okay. But like, for real, you okay? Are you sure? Do you want company? Okay. And she just lets go.
I'll be back. I might spend the night, but that's it. I'll be back in the morning at the absolute latest.
Are you Frankie looks like she wants to ask a few more things, but just kind of sits back on her hands and just kind of frowns.
Look, it's been a couple of days. I want to see my mom, make sure she's okay. That's it. I
Yeah,
promise.
that's not what I'm talking about. If you ever want to talk or you want to just hit a bitch up.
I do want to talk with you. Just I got to see my mom first, okay?
Okay.
All right.
So I'll walk you down to the entrance of our building. Like, hey, I mean, none of my business. That's fine, but you want me just to help that so it's not so much a. I can't fix it, but I can make it so it's not so much a hindrance for you if you want. It'll heal faster is what I'm saying.
I appreciate the offer, but it's just kind of the thing I got to do. It's supposed to be this way. So,
Tell Sophia I said hi. I'm going to assume I've read some crime novels and got some, like, I don't know if he's left or whatever. Like, oh, you fucked up and had to cut off your finger. Got it.
so but yeah, I'll be back. I just got to make sure that she's okay. And yeah,
Let us know if she needs anything. Your family's our family and all, you know.
of
Hannah gives you an
course.
awkward hug, and
I'll return like a proper hug, and
Oh.
like there's just a little moment of like there's also like a telepathic hug too. It's just like, you know, closeness and psionic togetherness.
yeah, she doesn't recoil away as much as you're kind of used to from that. There's a little weirdly a little less paranoia when you kind of touch minds. But
Yeah,
No,
if
goodbye.
anything happens, just
Oh.
give me a call, okay?
Will do.
All right. And with that, Bram will head out to the train station so that he can go to his mom's place.
Okay, you head on out. So, Mike, did you say that you were going to be sending a message to Chuni?
Was that her name? I can never remember.
It's something along those lines. It's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah, it occurs to me that I don't think Mice ever reached out to check with her after the attack. So I think that's going to be the excuse to just be like, hey, everything okay down there? There was this incident a few days ago, everything running smoothly.
You actually get a pretty prompt response back. It's only about like 20 minutes. She comes back and says, everything's doing fine. I've been able to get everything up and running back since the problem that you helped me with. And, you know, it's going great. And she says, I detected some stuff, like, you know, in the deep systems of the city infrastructure, but none of it really got to down here. It's been quiet.
So Mice is like looking at their phone and says to Frankie, like, should I just go for the direct approach and say, do you know if there's some kind of secret archive about Nova shit, or try and...
I mean, I don't know. This is your field.
I mean, my other half always likes to have a direct approach.
Hannah has more
All right.
experience. Follow Hannah's advice.
So the follow-up message, I guess, will just be like, cool, might still come visit just to double check everything is running smoothly. By the way, we have some information that we're trying to follow up on. Do you happen to know if there's any? So, like, I guess archive is the term we're using. Any kind of archive or library from the old days down there, which we might be able to access for a project.
She responds back. She says, "I'm not sure. I can look into it though. Do you think you'd be coming down here to look for it?"
For sure.
She says, "Okay. I can get some things set up if you want to use my place as a home base. I can absolutely help you out with that. You've been really good to me. If that's something you need, I can help you with that."
Prayer hands emoji, cat face emoji, heart emoji.
A string of like completely unrelated emojis comes back to you.
Is that a crab with a knife?
Crap.
I feel right now.
But yeah, let me know. I can get the transit systems wired up to come down tomorrow evening.
Fantastic. I will report this to the others, and thankfully, Bram will be back by then.
So that gets set up. What would anyone else be doing? You've got Bram checking on his mother. Anything from Frankie or Hannah that you guys would be up to?
Frankie's probably constantly looking at her phone and like starting to type a message and then stopping and then starting to type a message and then stopping and is trying to be patient, and she is not a patient person.
Okay.
So she is current. So Hannah probably understands the stop. She's doing the I'm not going to text Bram.
Hey, Frankie. You want to help me look into something totally unrelated, just out of my own personal curiosity?
What's that?
Well, I kind of been interested in how other folks bang boards for Muzzy and Bang. So I was gonna try to look some stuff up on that. If you want to help me, you're kind of a bit of a lie. Better at the technical stuff side of Bang than I am anyway. Um, I don't know.
What
Maybe
now?
it's something we. Oh, okay. So I guess there's like some Bioware that or some a piece of electronics called a bang board that they're sentient that they used to make put on Muzzy shows. I found out about it
Oh,
the other day, but that's kind
okay.
of a big part of it, and I just want to see what
I mean,
that
I
is and
heard
how it
bang
works.
board, and I was going a completely different route.
You've met me. Come on now.
What? People can change and grow.
Eye
And-
roll.
Yeah. So you're gonna. Well, how are you going about looking into this?
I'm actually just going to start looking at like whatever the equivalent is of musicians' friend catalogs, and then start
Okay.
trying to understand what they do, and then maybe look at more like the Wikipedia for the history of them.
Okay. Let's see.
Frankie will do her best, basically using her own knowledge, but
Mhm.
technically she's going to be bringing more of her culture knowledge to it,
Yeah.
basically trying to do her best to guide that way.
Yeah. So why don't Frankie, you do a culture roll, and Hannah, you can do a technology roll.
I'm gonna say that because Mice has high enough empathy, they probably recognize that like Hannah saying you're good with the technical stuff was more of an attempt to just occupy Frankie rather than actually fight Mice. Who's, you know.
It 100% is.
So Mice is like
Obviously,
absolutely
that'd be going to you.
listening with one ear and just ready to correct things.
Uh,
Okay. So what a bang board does, a lot of what a bang board does is if you were to kind of put it in terms of like normal technology, it's a massive like audio visual mixer. It handles a lot of that, but it also allows a clairsentience to add their own vision as a media source. Is kind of what it does, and it coordinates between those two kind of very very analog and very very digital types of technology. From the side to the hard tech, and the thing about it is it's a pretty intensive piece of BioWare, because it does kind of like it processes and distributes this very chaotic flow of information into a way that it can be presented to neutrals. So it's a pretty intensive piece of BioWare. The thing about that is that BioWare is everywhere, and there's definitely sort of two grades of it. There's BioWare that everyone can use because every human who isn't, a Nova or an Aberrant has a basic connection to Psi. In neutrals, it's very limited, and in latents, and obviously in Psiads, although not people know that, it's greater, and Psions really have the main line. So there's BioWare that's targeted to neutrals, that is very low grade, doesn't drain your system very much. There's a system called tolerance that determines how much BioWare you can attune to yourself. And because Psions have much bigger Psi ratings, they can attune more pieces of BioWare, and they can attune more complex pieces of BioWare. So the bigger pieces of BioWare just aren't marketed to neutrals, and they're not available to buy. Like they get them through either Aeon or the Psi orders directly. Is kind of where that type of BioWare gets bought and sold and arranged for. So it's one of those things of like, even though you as a Psiad can probably absolutely handle a bang board, it's not a market. You can't buy one off the OpNet.
Even if I could,
Yeah,
nobody would install would let me attune to it because it probably wouldn't work. So.
yeah. As
far as they know.
Yeah, as far as they know, there's no reason to do so.
Well, it's a lucky thing I have friends in organized crime who can find things.
Indeed.
What?
She does actually say that out loud, and we're like, oh, it's restricted access. It's hard to get a hold of. I mean, just spitballing for the future. Nothing.
I mean, for people who don't have connections.
So yeah, you would definitely have to pull something to get your hands on one. Now you remember you were talking with a person in the ISRA.
Yes.
Who mentioned that she was involved in sort of the early, like a lot of early prototyping of that.
Mm-hmm.
There might be bang boards laying around somewhere that
was part of I want to be able to recognize what it is if I come across such a piece of hardware.
Yeah, like it's very you could definitely recognize it as it is. It has a very distinct style of being BioWare. It's semi-organic, with there's an aesthetic to BioWare that you can definitely pick up on.
Cool. So that's kind of how I'm occupying myself for the evening.
Okay, cool.
How much of this is Hannah actually saying out loud?
Oh, it's out loud. I mean, we're all together. I'm not really being. Over the last few days, Hannah's actually been a little less circumspect and I trust you guys. It's fine.
Because Mice has BioWare that's low rate, but then also knows a junk dealer who might know where to get one of those boards. Possibly, I don't know.
Might be worth following up on in the future. Can't imagine it come cheap. I mean, yeah, I got my biocomp, but that's about it for me.
Why do you think he didn't want to talk about it?
Why didn't who want to what about what?
I don't know what I don't know what happened with Bram while he was away, but obviously he shook up about something and he's probably still processing. Not everybody wants to talk about difficult things right away till they've had a chance to think about it for themselves. Bram was
That
real
was
tense when he
very
walked in, even before he dumped a lot of stuff on him. So
that was very astute of you, Hannah. Very, very perceptive.
I mean, he would tell us though, right? Like if it was big, like he would tell us, right?
I think so. Yeah. When his own time. I mean, again, some people like to say their thoughts out loud before, so that they know they had them. Other people like to kick them around the brains for a while before externalizing them in the world or among the people they care about. I wouldn't take it personal.
I mean,
Okay.
are we people that he actually cares about? I mean, I don't think I'm someone who cares about him. Barely met him, but
I mean,
Frankie gets a weird look at that and then just
unclear.
crosses her arms over her chest and sulks.
it's just an honest question.
I don't know. Spend enough time working with somebody, it's hard not to care about them at least a little, and we haven't been too objectionable.
Well, I mean, I care about the two of you, Hobbs. I could see myself growing to care for Brown. At this point, though, I think that our relationship is more of a functional one.
Well, yeah, stuff takes time.
You better fucking care.
And pats Frankie on the shoulder. You're fine, Frankie. Don't worry. Don't give that another thought. Not just right on the whiteboard, the playground. Come on, you don't have deep conversations at an abandoned playground at midnight if you're with people you don't care about.
Exactly. Or the docks.
So we will move over to Bram. You get back to your mother's place, and she, obviously she welcomes you in. She's doing a lot better ever since Hannah was able to kind of soothe a lot of her sort of latent mental distress. It's almost like she has powers. And she welcomes you in, pulls out some food that she always has up ready in case her son shows up. And just kind of like, are you being as guarded with her as you were with your compatriots?
No. I do have my gloves on until I come inside, and then as like she's getting off the food, I'll go ahead and take off my gloves and just sit down at the table.
Yeah, she sort of comes around the corner with some plates in her hand, and like when she sees your hand, she stops and like almost drops something, but then like comes over, puts it on the table, and says, "So I don't know the ins and out of it, but I know what that means, son. Was it is it the right way? Are they going to be coming after you?"
No, no, Ma. We're gonna be fine. This was voluntary on my part, and there's no bad blood. I did it the right way. We're okay.
Well, I can't lie to you. It's a huge relief. It's a huge relief. I know that it meant that you were able to help out, and that's been easy. But there was never a day, never a night that I wasn't worried sick.
I know, and I'm sorry for that.
Oh, my boy. Oh, she like puts her hand through her hair and says, "What happened? Why the change? Why'd you do this?"
Just started thinking about how the world is such a bigger place, and you know, I want to do good by you. I want to make sure that you're taken care of. I just don't know if doing what I was doing is the best way to do that, you know?
No, I know, and I'm so happy, but it just means that we're gonna have to buckle down.
We'll
But it's
make it
good.
work.
But it's good. It's good. It's a good thing. I pray it's a good thing.
We'll make it work.
He says, it's not like, the Luna government doesn't help out. I'm never gonna be homeless or be without food. Oh, we're gonna have to find a smaller place, or we're gonna have to go into one of those ecologies that they've got. Hmm. It's okay. It's okay. You're gonna be much safer now. I know it.
I I don't want you to worry about rent or nothing, okay? I've got some things in the works. I'll see what I can come up with. I I want to get you up into the upper levels.
That's a dream. That's a dream. It's fine. It's fine, baby. As long as you're safe, I can manage.
And I am. And I will be. I I ain't gonna get no job in an office, but I'm gonna do.
So what about these artist friends of yours? You think maybe there's something there?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is. They
I heard that song, the Panic Attack song. It's not my thing, but I hear it, and that's something.
Yeah, um they've really helped me kind of open my mind a little bit. Mm, and I guess look up, for lack of a better term.
It's a big, big world.
It is. And I know that you like being here. I know that we've talked and you never want to go back to Earth, and I don't want to either, really. Like, it just doesn't seem like a place for me. But is there anywhere off Luna that you would want to go?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's so you see the vids about everything out there, and it's so wild. I don't know. I don't think there's anything. I'm getting up there. I'm not as young as I used to be. I don't think I have the constitution to be a pioneer. I think Luna is. It's it's close enough to civilization, but it's not dirty like Earth.
Yeah.
And I love this place. It's cozy, but it does me right. But if there was a place where maybe I could see the stars or anything something like that, I wouldn't complain.
This is a conversation that Bram has had with her a
Oh
thousand
yeah,
times.
absolutely.
And like, in some cases, literally word for word. And just he wraps himself up in it like a blanket and just savors it. And his hand doesn't even really hurt.
Yeah.
Well, to wit, I gotta go make sure that those kids ain't getting into trouble. But
Well,
you got anything I can bring to them? I think you want a couple of hots,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can put up a couple of plates.
Out of play. What's your dad's name? Frankie.
She hasn't. I don't think I've given him a name. He's just been
Okay.
Dad.
Um,
But
yeah,
I think
that
probably. Oh, it's probably Francesco, because she's
Mm.
probably named after him as the baby.
I had the opportunity. Do you remember that girl Frankie? There was two ladies I was with, Frankie and Hannah.
Oh, yeah, I remember her. Kind of a punk kind of look.
Yeah, I had a chance to have dinner with her and her dad. Uh, Very classy guy, you know. I told him about you cooking, and
Oh, you stop. You stop. You know I'm not up for that.
I'm just saying, if you wanna if you want, I'll get you some good ingredients, and I may have told him that I'd be willing to send the plate his way.
You're always cashing checks. Your mouth is always cashing checks, Brammy. Not.
Yeah, but I know
But
you
if
can do it.
well, if you committed me to making some strange man a plate, then
Just one plate, Ma. It's one plate. Ma, you could give him your leftovers and he'd love it. You know that.
you are the devil. You are the devil. Why did I birth the devil?
Because you love me so much.
Shut up and help me with the gravy.
And I do.
All right. So we will fast
So wholesome.
forward through the evening, into the past the morning, into the early afternoon. Would Frankie or Hannah or Mice would either of you reach out to the Nova Corps group? Because they did say that they would be eager to help out if you guys were going for that information store.
I mean,
Uh,
I offer. Or do we want to do our first recon on our own?
I think it's up to Mice, because it's Mice's friend's place.
I don't know. I don't know how many people she'd be cool with us bringing down. You know, maybe like the one we met at the bar, but maybe not more than that. If they actually wanted to come, if they didn't want to just provide material and moral support and enthusiasm, and maybe an oxygen tank in case things go south and we get stuck down there and we don't have any air.
So was that a no or a yes?
So we have room for one.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Hannah should know by now that Mice never answers any question straightforwardly.
Much to Hannah's constant consternation.
Yes, absolutely.
Enter Frankie. That means one.
So, is someone going to reach out to them?
Yeah, I'll send a message directly to her. I actually wanted to ask what we should call her before we left last game.
She would let you know that her name, the name that you can refer to her by, is Nala.
Just 5 dashes very quick. Going to go look for underground archives if you want to join. This is invitations for you and you only, Nala. -H.
Okay. Yeah, she responds back quickly and says, can do. And you basically are able to arrange a meeting point, assuming you don't want to invite her over to your.
No, definitely
place.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even ask about that. I just arrange a meeting point.
Yeah, you get with Mice about like where you guys will need to go, and you basically set up a meeting point to get onto a train that will get you where you're going. So yeah, that arrangement taking place. Bram, you've been able to collect some plates, have a good night's sleep. And would there be anything that you would do before heading over to the crash pad?
No. I reckon this is like futuristic Tupperware, essentially.
Mhm.
That, like whatever you put in, it just stays that perfect temperature, humidity, pressure.
It turns into a perfect swan.
But yeah, no, I'm not doing anything. I'll do like a cursory, almost habitual kind of security sweep as I'm heading back to the train. Just like keeping an eye out, seeing if there's anything. This is a place that she's been to, that she's lived at for a long time, so I'm very familiar with it. Just looking for anything that's out of the ordinary to my eye.
Nothing stands out.
Okay.
But yeah, so you show up in early afternoon time. Is there anything anyone is doing to prepare or get ready for such an expedition?
Absolutely. I will pack my my medical kit
Okay.
stuff. I don't usually bring all with me, just in case, into a backpack. And what else might I think we might need in that weird subterranean place I've never been before? Or I guess I'll just ask my. Are you serious about those oxygen tanks?
Maybe 62% serious.
Well, that's pretty serious for you. All right, sorry,
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah, you can get your hands on sort of that. Like, there's like emergency surplus stores that are,
Yeah.
Because oxygen is a big deal here. You never know. So it's actually pretty cheap to get sort of emergency oxygen supplies. And of course, you got your med kit. Anything else anyone's doing?
My hair?
Okay.
I was
What's
like,
your,
Set my.
what's the hair look like?
I think it's kind of like a cross between Flock of Seagulls and the Sydney Opera House.
Nice.
Today. That's the style.
I do set my agent up to record everything. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have for that, like a little GoPro or glasses camera or something.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have like AR setups, and the mini comp has its own sensor package. So yeah, like you can like basically the mini comp is like a palm-sized thing.
Yeah, well, I have the biocomp. I have the.
Yeah.
the
Well,
implant
yeah,
one.
exactly.
Yeah.
But you can just like clip it to the front of your
Right.
your jumper, and it has its own like sort of bio eye that can read stuff. What about Frankie? Is Frankie up to anything particular before this thing sets off?
Well, actually, probably doing the groundwork of setting up basically the time of the next Bang installation they're doing.
Okay, all right. You're getting that on the books and setting things up. Yeah.
Yeah, we still have a job.
Yeah, you still have your project, your big thing.
The storybook.
Yeah, that's been running in the background. Like you guys have gotten a lot of stuff. You've got your crew, getting the preliminary set up, and there's still a lot of whiteboarding of
Oh, yeah.
storyboarding and concepts to go through. But you've got sort of the logistics train going. So yeah, so with that out of the way, I'll say yeah, Bram, you make it back to the crash space, and.
Oh, I do bring my revolver for this as well.
Not a bad idea. So yeah, would Bram be preparing anything to be going down deep into the depths of Luna?
He doesn't really know that it's happening, but aside from his suit and his gun, doesn't really have anything that he needs. Yeah, he'll kind of like walk in amidst such a flurry of activity, and he'll with like a stack of foods, like what's going on?
Oh, is that for us?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tupperware.
This one's for you, and I just hand everything out, and I give Frankie.
I'll make her a batch of cookies next time you're going to visit.
Bottom one is for your dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me give him a call, see if I can't go drop it off. You should give it to him since it's a gift.
She's
She doesn't even wait for a response. She's already texting her dad.
Yeah, you do a little back and forth. He arranges for like a little delivery drone to come by and bring it up. He says he doesn't really have time for a visit. And he's like, "This is weird."
Out of place. Didn't I mention like that? I thought.
Yeah, you did,
Okay.
but it's still weird.
It's still weird.
Didn't expect him to come through with this.
Gotcha.
Like,
but yeah.
but okay.
So like as that's getting arranged, I will. I'll wait until Frankie is kind of off to one side, and I'll gently kind of just like grab her like the hem of her shirt and just kind of tug.
Yeah.
You got a minute?
Yeah. What's up?
And we will come back to that conversation after our break.
All right.
All right, welcome back to Simulacra Studio presents Trinity Continuum Aeon Lunar Rocks. When last we left our down and out art punks, Bram and Frankie were about to have a private conversation. So let's zoom back in to where that's happening. Where is that happening, by the way?
I was hoping I could find some sort of like corner or sizable closet or bedroom in the crash pad.
Yeah, there's
I could close a door.
Probably like there's like a kitchenette area that you can close off to have it. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll just sort of kind of lead you in and take off his gloves while he has his back turned to you and just turn around and take both of your hands in his.
And that is something Frankie would know about. It means someone who is out. And depending on the number of fingers and which fingers would imply like the severity of that. This is probably the least severe version of it.
Frankie just kind of like stares for a moment. Okay. You okay?
Yeah, I mean, to say that it hurts is an understatement, but it's getting better, and it was my choice. Like, I didn't like mess up or nothing, you know. I just been doing a lot of thinking about what you said, and I'm out.
Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
Then I'm happy for you. She gives a wide smile. You don't seem happy about it, though.
It's just a lot to deal with, you know. I just got to worry about money and I'm on. I mean, I didn't exactly make a ton, but I made enough, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I think whatever I need to do, I can't have that hanging over me.
Mm-hmm. Thought question.
Mhm.
How does the wealth score work as far as I have wealth 2?
Mhm.
Could I pay a salary of wealth 1 to someone else?
Um, Probably not. Um, that would be a significant expenditure of your resources. Like I would say around wealth 3 is where you are able to start paying people that sort of thing. Like I would say there'd have to be like a 2 dot difference between where you are and what the person you want to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but yeah, it would mean that you would basically be giving up a decent portion of your income to pay someone else a wealth 1 salary.
So would it be possible then to basically it would mean could I pay it but basically go back to having resources 1?
Yeah, I would say that basically your functional resources would go back down to 1, and the person that you're sustaining would have a functional wealth of 1.
Okay. Then okay. All right.
How many wealth dots do you have, Bran? Just 1? Yeah. We'll have to discuss that dots given where it came from and its justification at some point. But if Frankie were to do that, then that would definitely sort of indefinitely forestall that, and you would be able to start building some independent sources of revenue.
Um,
Well, I mean, are you looking for work?
I am. I don't really have much in the way of marketable skills. Like, I'm real good at hurting people, but I
You
don't know.
know, it's this weirdest thing that you mention it. I used to have this really awesome bodyguard, but like he suddenly finds himself like not in that line of business anymore. But I don't know. I can't pay a whole bunch, but I have a job offering if you're interested.
Oh no, no. I wouldn't feel right taking money from you. I I want to provide my services, but no, not as no. I wouldn't feel right doing that. It's very kind of you, but no, thank you.
I mean, until you're up on your feet.
Um, until I'm up on my feet, and it'll all go to my mom.
That's fine. What you do with it is your choice.
All right,
Besides, I
but
could also just go over your head and go straight to your mom, but I think this is way better.
okay. But yeah, I am gonna be looking for work, so just keep your ears open. And he kind of like shakes his hand. Can't really look in some of the usual places. Um,
Yeah.
but I guess it depends on what all happens with this thing that we're doing down below. But who knows? Maybe that could wind up being
Lucrative.
leveraged into some sort of job opportunity. I don't know.
Bram,
Yeah.
sure you're okay?
I had to cut my own finger off this morning, yesterday,
Yeah.
so that I could no longer be a part of the gang that literally allowed me and my mother to live. I'm doing it because I woke up to a bigger understanding and realization of both the universe as it is and as I am within it, all in the space of a month. And top it all off, there's this amazing woman that I just cannot stop thinking about. I'll be okay. It's a lot.
She kind of smirks and she goes, Hannah's a really awesome woman. I understand.
No, it's you.
Nope. That was a joke.
Okay. Man, you good at that, you know?
Well, the feeling's mutual. In case you weren't aware, I was very annoyed, but I mean, I understand why. I do get it. I understand why you wouldn't want to talk about it. Hannah's probably clocked you already on that, hasn't she?
She at least knows. I think she knows that I'm injured, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she knows the details. I'm happy to talk about it with everybody now. It's just I wanted to. There were two people that I wanted to tell in private. It was you and my mom. So you know.
I can't really get out. It's not really a thing. Is that going to be a problem?
No, not at all. Ethically, I got no problem with all that. There's niches, and you know they got to get filled. It's like uh, you know, it's like biology or something. You know, like you gotta the system will find its equilibrium. You know, it's just
So, if you're going to be hanging around me for a bit, and my dad probably already suspects something's going on between us, if you get black bagged, I'm not saying you will, but I'm saying if that happens, use the code word strawberry ice cream.
okay.
Let me take a note.
Click. Does he
That
do that often?
oh, he hasn't done it recently. When I was younger, a couple years ago, um, like two, more like one ish. No, well, it's been a bit. But sometimes he can get a bit possessive, and sometimes when someone gets too close and he doesn't approve, then he tends to have issues. But he seems to like you. You sent him a gift, so hey, there's that. But strawberry ice cream will let them know that I do value you and you're important to me, and not to kill you.
Thank you. Um, yeah. So, you want to get is there anything you need like help packing?
I mean, no. I mean, I got my bullets, I got my jacket, I got my gun. No, I'm good.
I
Hannah's the kind of the thinker at the group. She kind of does all the thinking. I'm kind of a fly by the seat of my pants kind of person, and
Yeah.
mice is usually high. So
I do a quick once over. Are you in fact wearing pants or are you in a skirt?
oh, she's totally in a skirt.
You see a very deliberate kind of look down, look up, and just a smile.
But yeah, no. She's kind of like wraps an arm through yours and kind of like drags you out, and she goes, "Hey Hannah, Bram's gonna sleep on the couch for a while."
I
Is that okay?
yeah, of course.
I'll
Blankets and stuff at the end. We'll make it up for you tonight.
I'll cook too.
The hell you will.
Oh, the hell I won't.
Oh,
All right, we'll tell you
fighting
back. Well, when we get back from exploring these subterranean caves, look at spelunking for long forgotten archives, you and I'll have some words about this.
Right? Yes, we will.
In the meantime, here, take these. She hands you one of the oxygen tanks.
Mice,
Hey, Carrot.
I think this means they're gonna have a cook-off. You know who wins? Us.
Oh, I'll make dessert.
The hell you will.
Hannah and Frankie remember the last time mice made dessert. Or maybe more specifically, they don't remember the last time mice made dessert. So
Nice. Okay, so unless anyone has any details or equipment or anything like that they want to throw on or arrange for, we can move forward.
Mice is going to bring a small satchel of data repositories in case anything that we can't take with us needs to be transferred.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I'm going to put up my alertness.
Okay. Absolutely. Okay. So you guys head to the meetup point where you're going to meet with Nala. It is a definitely underside terminal. It's one of the last like functioning terminals. So you guys are sort of deep in down in the down below area. You meet with her. She is, as I've described before, she's a young African woman, definitely kitted out in a way that is like way more like it looks like she's done this sort of thing before, whereas the rest of you are kind of like, you know, punk rockers going on an adventure. She is like, you know, she's got like a backpack. She's got, you know, a series of lights. She has her own oxygen things. She definitely looks like probably Bram would recognize some like intrusion gear, like lock picks, lock breakers, like electronics that are designed to overcome, you know, sophisticated locks. So she looks like she's in it to win it. And she kind of like nods to the three that she's met before, and then kind of sizes you up, Bram. And she says, "Nala,
Bram.
did you clue him in?"
He's one of us. He just wasn't able to make it the other night. He was actually kind of instrumental in y'all getting away, or in that first little interaction we had. But yeah, he's clued in.
All right, cool. So you said we were gonna like head to a forward base or something down there. Where are we going?
So, yeah, mine's is gonna clue you in on that, but it is a don't talk about place.
We're going to like break into pseudo government, decades old, like place that we're most certainly going to be in danger. I've done this sort of thing before.
I understand, but it's kind of important.
It's I get it. Not talking, not spilling any beans. So where are we going? He like looks over to Mice.
we're getting on a train. That's it.
All
The
right.
guide will take it from there.
Oh, geez.
You just
Oh.
you have to have some faith. You know,
She's
we're
like,
going deep.
she just like pinches like the bridge of her nose. She's like, oh Jesus, what am I into? Like, all right. And almost on cue, as you say that, after one of the trains leaves, like a big chunk of car, a single car pulls into the terminal. The one or two other people who are here who didn't get on the last train kind of like check their mini comps and look a little confused because it's not matching up with the cars that they're supposed to be getting on. But the doors open for the four of you. The five of you, yeah.
Mice strides on with confidence.
Frankie close behind.
I'll go in last.
Okay.
And just kind of give everybody the stink eye who else is on the platform.
Nice. Yeah, no one.
I didn't see nothing.
Yeah, no one seems to be intrigued, wanting to hop on the mystery train. But yeah, so you get on there, and after a few lengths of rail, it diverts off the main public transit line of its own accord, and starts like it hits a stopping point, and it starts descending. Then it maneuvers onto another track, goes a couple more miles, and hits another descending point, and it keeps going down and down and down until it eventually hits this sort of very misused, old station that is, very cluttered with a lot of debris. Looks like most of the like electronics and features have been stripped long ago. But somehow, for some reason, it seems like before you get off, the pressure systems come back online, and a glowing emergency strip, like the kind of thing that's embedded so far into the wall that it's not worth ripping it out, just starts to light up and lead you down to a very strange, out of the way, like clearly abandoned old office that's along one of these long corridors. And like with the pressure systems like sealing behind you, and like sections of the tunnel pressurizing themselves as they go. And eventually you get to this office that has no indicating, like there's all the signs have been ripped off. It looks very old, very disused. And the front section of the office opens up to you all to sort of act as kind of a forward base. Bram, I would like for you to roll your mind scan, your telepathy basic ability.
Okay. No successes, but not a botch.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing jumps out at you. But you do
That
get
puts
a
us
momentum.
at 5 momentum now.
Yeah, 5 momentum.
And I am on point.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I will have my gun like drawn like at the ready, but not like pointing out in front. But
So when you almost moments after you get in, the door sort of seals itself behind you, and from some hidden hollow projector, a human female figure sort of flickers into existence and says, "Hello, mice. You brought your friends."
Have
She's like,
these are them.
"Hello, I'm Shuni. Thank you. I don't see many people. I've only really talked to mice, really. But welcome to my place. I've been looking through the records, based off the information that you gave me. I think I do know what I don't know exactly where it is that you're trying to find, but I know where you will be able to look for places like that. There's certainly a lot of places that are still connected one way or the other. I have a list of likely candidates that you can investigate.
That is wonderful.
Thanks,
Thank you
Shuni.
so much. Is there something we can do in return to help you out?
She says, no, your friend Mice here has done me a great service with my charges, and I've been it's been very nice talking to them over the OpNet.
Oh, same.
Nice to meet you.
Well, if you can think of something that we can help you with later on, please let us know.
Actually, Hannah, please roll your for your Acrylian eye again as well.
Yes. Yeah, and also the alertness, which is for specifically for danger.
Yeah.
I also didn't get any successes on that.
Aw, geez. Okay.
All right, we're gonna start using some
Does
momentum,
not
guys.
bode well.
Indeed. Yeah. So you pick up nothing strange. But she says, yeah. So and she offers a connection point to everyone's OpNet. It's like I've listed out the places. And yeah, so you can definitely come back here when you need to rest or anything. I've got some basic. Well, I don't really have much in the way of like supplies. That's all getting routed into the system. But yeah, feel free. I can just let me know where you're going so I can do what I can. My control of the systems is not perfect down here. Like I've got like my access corridor pretty well under control, but I can do what I can to turn things on where you're going.
Is there anything we should know about, like security countermeasures that might be dangerous to us that you might not be in control of, or strange things living down here, or areas of poison or contaminants, anything like that we should be on the lookout for?
Well, like I said, I keep things away from here that need to breathe. I've got a pretty good way of doing that. So I'm not aware of anything. Nothing really comes this way as far as that's concerned. I don't know about where you're going. It is not the best around here for human life. I'm certain that there will be some dangers that you might run into. But like I said, I will do my best to help you guys as I can. I do hope you find what you're looking for. And just let me know. I can be contacted much easier down here, so I'll be looking out.
Thank
I
you.
will let you know if we need anything.
Can
All right,
I
guys. I'm calling
roll
it now.
an empathy on her to, or I guess whatever it is, to
Yeah,
digital sincerity?
Yeah, you can roll empathy.
Sorry, what were you gonna say? Dan, I think I cut you off.
Oh, it's fine. Do the roll first. It's not super important. Thank you. Mighty biscuit maker.
It's 4 successes and 1 enhancement.
It seems pretty sincere. But it's an SI, so
Yeah.
It would be, you can definitely tell it is skirting around, like not mentioning the fact that there are people back there. Like it's definitely trying to keep your
Not telling me
focus
vulgar.
on staying doing your thing out in the other places. But you've talked to Mice, you know that there are people back there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely like, you can, if there's an agenda, it's be nice, but don't fuck with my shit.
No, I was gonna say, while we're fucking around down here, if someone gets exposed to quantum or whatever the hell, I call being the Nova. Y'all are the Sciads. I call being the Nova.
It's fair.
Well, we'll just have to see, won't we?
We'll have a fight over it. We'll have a knife fight.
Nala kind of like looks at that and says like, I mean, that would be totally cool, but I'm calling that. Like, I'm the Nova Corps like chick. Like that's been my thing since I was 12. So
Oh,
deuces.
dude, that was supposed to be totally out of play, but that's fine. We can take it in play.
Okay.
If you said that in play, you
Yeah.
guys are Hannah just kicks you.
Yeah,
I don't think we told her. Or maybe we did.
because she wouldn't have outed them.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's fine.
All
That
right.
happens.
But
Funny.
anyway, so just
No one gets what they want.
so yeah, you guys get a sort of a list of about 3 different areas that that seem promising as far as what Ginny can unveil for you. There's it's sort of an analysis paralysis moment because none of them like scream, "This is an easy place to get to," or "This place is really close," or "These 2 places are close together." It's like no, they're all like pretty out there, pretty scattered from one another.
Let's just do A.
Okay, so you just go to the first one on the list.
Yep.
Okay. So what I'm gonna need is I'm going to need a survival roll from somebody
Oh,
to
geez.
lead this effort.
I
mean,
Anyone?
I don't have any, but I do have keen senses, so I will totally do it if you guys want. But I'd like to use some momentum.
I have 1 dot of survival and keen
okay.
sight, which
Okay.
could help.
I have no dots, but no, I have no dots.
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
this a thing where people can help each other? Or
I would only allow help if you have the skill. However, Nala does have that skill, so I will do a roll for her.
Glad we invited her.
Uh-huh. And I will add her successes to your roll as enhancement. Okay. How many did you roll?
oh, I didn't roll yet.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so you got 2 enhancement from her for helping out.
Okay, so I have 2 successes plus 1 enhancement if insight helps.
Okay. All right. So you guys are able to go to the first one on the list, and you go sort of twisting down some passageways, and eventually, yeah, and as you go, the pressure systems sort of do keep up with you. You do get kind of like a little notice of there's a gap in my ability to affect the sensors. So you guys are able to put your breathers on and go for about 20 yards through a depressurized area. So it's not like it's not depressurized in that you guys will have like issues. Well, there's just no air. Like there's just no air in the area. So with your breathers on, you're able to get through. You and Nala sort of tag team doing it, and eventually you do get to a what looks like an old like medical clinic, like kind of like an very kind of like a big closet that looks like it used to have like a medical bed, storage for medical supplies. It looks like it's been pretty picked over. But you aren't able to, like, you don't see any insignias on the wall or anything like that. It looks like, but it does have like a trickle of power and things like that. So how are you guys checking this place out?
Just as a note, Scott, I want to mention that I know we're primarily looking for the archive, but Mice is also definitely keeping their eyes open for any more information about the people connected to the simulation.
Okay. I mean, you'd have to be like that. The place to do that was back at Forward.
Yeah. Just if there's anything in any of these other locations,
I noted.
certainly.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Can we access one of the computers?
Sure. Yeah, someone should need to give me a technology roll.
Sure. I will go ahead and do that. Um,
Would you like an
I,
assist?
I would love an assist.
All right.
Get my 6 dice.
Cunning?
Sure.
Yes, I will also be using my cunning.
I hope you like successes.
I got 2.
Have 3 more.
Okay.
Or, I guess.
So you guys jury rig, get this computer back up, boot it up to like this point where you can like actually like interact with it. It looks pretty old, and from what you can tell, this place and this computer is it was an old Asclepian clinic, which the Asclepians is an order of like sort of like the Mega Red Cross. Today it's a psi order, but it's evolved into a psi order for Vitikinetics. But from what you're like doing, like looking at like the timeline, like the data that's on this computer, this facility it's an Asclepian facility from before the psi order. It had evolved into a psi order.
Oh,
So
wow.
so it is like old medical information. Like this was a like emergency medical clinic from the time that they were like hollowing out and building out these tunnels.
Interesting. She'll relay that to the group. Is there any? What kind of dangers were in this area then? Back then.
Loss of pressure, cave-ins.
Okay.
Like it's super mining accidents. Like
Gotcha.
like errors, like problems with the gravity systems. Like super dangerous stuff, like for building up and hollowing out underground tunnels and stuff.
Gotcha.
I would like. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I would like to do a telekinetic scan
Okay.
of the room and just see if I can feel anything that may be hidden or like a secret compartment or something.
Okay, yeah, give me a psi plus telekinesis roll. Yeah, you push out your senses, look for things that like places that feel weird, and you do like behind one of the the sort of picked over shelves. You like feel around, and you feel like there is something like behind the shelf, and like you're able to. Working with a couple other people, you like move the shelf over, and it looks like there is a very old, most certainly expired pack of like antibiotics and painkillers.
Mice pockets a few.
Take the whole thing. Party later.
Yeah,
I do take a look at the
never
antibiotics, see
know.
what kind they are, what they're for.
I mean, they're just sort of broad spectrum antibiotics.
Okay. Gotcha.
That are definitely
futuristic
like
Z-Pack.
yeah, future CPAC that are super out of date.
While they're doing this and kind of looking the place over, would roughly Frankie will spend the scene here at the computer and use her deep system scan.
Okay.
Basically to see if for those who don't know what it does, I must spend at least a scene with a computer. In that time, I can access any data that was ever on the device. This expressly includes things like internet history, keystrokes, the like. They also know if the files were deleted and can access any corrupted files. However, I will spend an inspiration to recover those lost files. So my first question is, are there any corrupted / lost, basically deleted files on this computer?
Yes, there are.
I'm going to spend one of my inspirations to recover them.
You like look through. You just sort of follow your instincts, recover that information, and you find a check-in log, like a check-in um, uh, from a couple decades back, like back when this thing was still operating, but like just barely, like maybe one person was here, um, and you see that a member of the Esculpian Order, of the Esculpian organization, checked in with roughly 10 other people, like guests. And you see, like, the visiting physician was M. Zweidler, who Matthew Zweidler is the proxy of the Esculpian Order. So, before there were scions, Zweidler and, a rough dozen people came through this office.
She recovers that and she's like, she points to proxies. Sorry.
Well,
She's kind of
weird
takes
but
that
encouraging.
information. She kind of takes that information. She'll like save it. Basically get a copy of it that she's gonna send to the witnesses later.
Okay. But yeah, other than those, it doesn't seem like there's much of anything else here.
I look around for some physical souvenir. This place is neat, and I've never been to a place like this before.
Okay, yeah. What kind of souvenir would you like to find?
Something small enough to put in my pocket that I could incorporate in a piece of art that would go like a knob to a filing cabinet, a nameplate on the computer,
Sure.
or
Yeah,
a terminal
get
or something like that.
You get a surprisingly nice like desk ornament.
Sweet.
Does it say I spelunked into an abandoned government facility and all I got was this lousy desk ornament?
No, it's
Well,
like
no.
it's like a chunk of glass with a metal base that has like a hologram etched caduceus in it.
Nice.
Some LEDs under there. That'll look real nice.
But yeah,
open my clinic. I'll put it there.
Other than that, doesn't seem like there's anything really of value here.
Right then. Well, I think we've gotten everything we can get here. Number 2.
Yeah. So you definitely would be smart to head back to main base.
Yeah.
Before heading out to the thing, because like I said, none of them are like close to one another. When you come back, if either Bram or Hannah would like to roll their attunement senses when you come back here.
Use some momentum.
What's favorite aptitude do again?
I don't think it would apply to. Yeah, it would.
Yeah, I gained an enhancement, so yep, yeah, it's just gaining an enhancement, and so yeah, that is a success and an enhancement for me.
Okay, so yeah, when you come back here, like your senses just seem to be sharper. Bram, you do detect the presence of 5 mines, further back into this area. Hannah, you sense 5 sources of life. And also you detect, it's very strange because it's not like they're in comas or they're in like an ill state, but they are like they're in an inactive state. And like their nourishment isn't the best, but they're not like malnourished. It's just like you've got people who are inactive, sessile, you know, not necessarily being harmed, but they don't read like, people who are up and walking around.
So hey, Mice, how many people say we're supposed to be down here?
What was it, 5 or 6?
Yeah, it was
because
5.
I thought it was 6 people. Okay, it was 5.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
And it occurs to me
it's
also.
whatever I said earlier.
Okay. It also occurs to me that Bram might actually have no idea. I don't think Mice has told Bram about this. So
when that scan
Didn't really
completes,
tell me either.
he will like kind of hold up his hand and like reach into his jacket for his gun.
whoa, what's up? What's going? What's
Yeah,
up?
Nala looks like very confused and like pulls out her own gun. What's going on?
What's with all the guns?
And telepathically, there will be the mind share for everyone. I'll say there's 5 other people in this room somewhere.
They're supposed to be here.
What?
Did that thought just come from someone else's brain or from my brain?
You also get kicked.
Frankie goes, chill, everyone chill. We're all okay. Let's keep going.
When you say that, I do look over, try to see if Nala, how she's reacting to that, though.
She is like wide-eyed, eyes switching between all of you, like
Sorry,
confused
Nala,
and alert.
Fossil, we're all a little jumpy, you know. I just kind of gesture around.
Okay.
So
Yep.
are these people
over the-
supposed to be here?
Are you saying
Yeah.
that out loud or telepathically?
Out loud.
And also, what people?
I can sense 5 other people aside from us, 5 other minds, somewhere, and I'll point in the vague direction, somewhere that way.
You brought a scion?
No, we didn't.
What the fuck?
I believe the term is technically Syad.
Frankie looks like my calling in life has been activated. And she just kind of like pops her finger and she goes, so, remember when I told you things like the Hush Up Club? This is what I'm talking about. You don't have to go through their fucking process to have your mind awakened. People can do it naturally. They've been saying it is impossible for years, but we got the proof right here as Bram has offered himself up, so she's not outing him. So that's what's going on with that. 2, Hush Up Club number 2 is we don't talk about the people in the back. We don't deal with the people in the back. That is with our friend. That is our friend's business. They are fine.
Unless I need to scrape out their feeding tubes.
They are fine. We're not going to fuck with that because our priority is the archive.
Okay, so is there anything else that you guys feel the need to share now so that I'm not jumpy?
Let's just like refill our tanks and go.
I'm just
Because I
watching
don't have
Nala to
anything
see how she's reacting to the Syad stuff.
She is doing her best to be inscrutable about her emotional reaction to this.
Respect.
She's like, okay, you're right. Eyes on the prize. We've all got our secrets. Okay.
All right.
Frankie just gives a wide smile and literally goes, location 2 is this way. And just points some ice in that direction.
All right. I will need another survival roll. I will have Nala do her thing as well.
It also, this might be a good time. I have the X marks the spot gift.
Okay.
So I don't know if choice B is actually the correct one that we're going for, but
do you have to spend something for that, or is it just an automatic thing?
I think it's just once per session. It's
Okay.
just I have to say I'm using it.
Oh yeah. Well, you think about that, and you need to go to choice C. Like it's the last one on the
Okay.
list. Like that seems
I'm
like
gonna-
the right place.
When Frankie announces choice B, I'm gonna be like, I've got a feeling, just I've got this vibe. It's like a eighth sense or whatever that just maybe we should go to the other one instead. Like never go for the next choice on your list. Always skip to the next one down. It's like a rule.
You want
I
to
forget
you
who
picking out
came
milk
up
at the
with it.
supermarket? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, you want to
yeah.
go to the third one.
If your first choice doesn't work out, go with your third.
All right. Choice 3 is in that direction.
Cool. All right. Survival roll. 3.
Okay, so you get where Nala seems to be withdrawn, not really helping out much. Combination of revelations in play, and she rolled no successes. But yeah, you guys make it to an area. You actually run into an area where the grav system isn't working. So you have to like sort of fumble around in less than the normal gravity for a good long way. Like it's not like you're floating around because there is some gravity on the moon, but it is an adjustment to kind of like stumble and skid a little bit.
Oh man, Frankie's having the time of her life.
Yeah, same. I mean, it's like we could just stay here for a while. This is fine.
Me and Mice are playing bumper
Super
cars.
underground show.
But eventually you get to a very secure looking door that has on it it has a symbol on it that is very reminiscent of the very iconic Aeon Trinity Psi Trident thing, but it's not exactly that. It looks older or less stylized in the modern style. And it is a very, very heavy, secure looking door. Nala does her best to like try and find places to unlock or Jimmy things. She like pulls out a bunch of electronic things, and she's like, "This thing is really dead bolted."
Let me give it a try. And I will put my hand out onto the door, and I want to use my what is it? I was just looking at my powers list. Remote hands, telekinesis 2 to essentially kind of feel inside of the lock, whatever locking mechanism is there, to try and see if I can like manipulate it directly. And I have a specialty in larceny that is locks.
Okay, yeah, you can apply that.
Would be applicable here.
Yeah, so your telekinesis plus your psi, and you can add that specialty as enhancement.
Okay, I'd like to use a couple momentum as well.
Use 3.
I will use 3.
The path.
Oh yeah. That's 2 10s. A third 10.
Nice.
So 3 successes. The enhancement from my specialty, which is I think 1 enhancement. So
you rip the door from its hinges.
3 successes plus 1 enhancement.
Okay, yeah, you feel in through your psychic senses the sort of the tumblers and the deadlocks, and like you find like this main gear that you're able to telekinetically turn, like just by like psychic touch alone, and there's a large kind of rusty chunk as like the big deadbolt gets undone. And from there, Nala is very easily able to undo some of the lesser locks. And probably it takes a couple of you to like physically push the door in. and inside there is like it's a small apartment-sized room or series of rooms that has like very dim emergency lighting still going. And as you do and start to look around, you start to hear this sort of buzzing, humming sound. And we are going to need to roll initiative. So initiative is the lesser of your dex plus empathy or your cunning plus athletics.
Hate that it's the lesser.
Yeah, it is.
One of them is
Exactly
8
the
points.
same.
One of them is 4.
Mine are exactly the same.
Huh.
5 dice each.
Same. Still only one success though.
Apparently, I decided I wanted to go first.
Okay.
Big fat zero.
Okay, so you've got 3, you've got 1, 0, and 1. Okay, cool. So we've got
I have 4.
4. Awesome. All right. I'll roll for Nala as well.
Apparently, I wanted to go first for some reason.
Gotcha. Okay, so we've got a PC on 4, 2 PCs on 1. We've got Nala on 2, and the security drones, the automated security drones, are going
Great.
on 1, and then we have another PC on 0. So who wants to take the number 4 slot of the PCs? There are these shapes sort of moving in the darkness, barely defined by the security lighting, and so you're not sure exactly what it is, but it sounds mechanical.
I mean, if no one else wants it, can Frankie ready an action? Basically, when they come into view, can she shoot them?
Sure. Yeah, I'll allow that.
All right. Because Frankie's assuming they're going to be hostile. So when they come into view, Frankie's going to shoot them.
Okay, so you've got that ready to action. So we have Nala is going to go on 2. She is going to roll and take cover back a couple of feet and have her gun out. So we've got the bad guy. I'm going to go ahead and take the bad guy turn, or the turn. They're going to buzz out, and it looks like there are 3 of them. And that gives Frankie the opportunity to take a shot at one of them.
Yes, I will happily shoot one. Pull up my sheet. I got my aiming. I got my finesse. Yes. All right, cool. All right, let's see if I can't shoot a bitch. 2. Well, double 10s and a 9 say I'm off to a good
Ooh.
start. Another 10. Okay, dokie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes.
Okay. So yeah, you are able to 5 successes. Just double check something real quick. You definitely score a pretty good hit at it. Actually, hold on, let me. Yeah, you are able to injure it. So you put one into it, it still kind of buzzes out of the way. It doesn't drop. And if you want, you have 3 bonus successes. You can try and pin it down so that it will have to buy off a complication in order to attack. Or you could put that up into your defense, or you can throw that up for a general enhancement pool.
I will throw it up for a general enhancement pool for everyone else.
Okay. Okay, so they are going to attack now. Definitely they are going to be attacking Frankie. Could you please roll your defense for me, please?
Sure.
It's one of your resilience attributes.
Would that include my athletics or not?
No, it would not. It's just based on
Okay.
your resilience attribute.
All right.
your
Well, I'm going to
attributes.
be rolling stamina because it's 3. That would be 1 success.
Okay. With 1 success, it is not able to hit you. It fires off this like high pitched sound blast, and the sound of a sonic weapon. Anyone who's tussled with lunar security when they're using their non-lethal weapons can recognize this class of weapon as a non-lethal sonic weapon. Buzzes, and you're able to duck out of the way of the concussive blast. But the other two are also going to attack.
Sure.
One of them is going to attack Bram. So if you could roll your defense for me, please.
That'll just be my dexterity, or no, it's one of the
It's your
toughest ones.
resilience attributes.
Stamina then 2. That is a botch.
Uh-oh. Well, you definitely get momentum. But you are hit like chest in with this like concussive sonic blast. What is your soft armor?
Crap. I have decent gear, so let me make sure that I'm using that correctly. I have.
Are you wearing a leather jacket?
I'm wearing my shifting armor, so it's got soft 2.
Okay.
It is bulletproof, impact resistant, and slash resistant.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you are hit with the stunned condition, which essentially means you are shaken and unable to act on your go while you're under this condition. And then another one is going to lash out. Since y'all haven't been able to go, I'm going to say that you're all basically in front of this door.
I mean, it could be me again.
No, they've got their programming. They want to try and bring down as many people as possible. I'll say that they are going to be attacking mice.
No.
So go ahead and roll your defense for me, please.
No successes, but not a botch.
Okay. They, however, did roll their botched attack. So what happens is the damaged one it swerves on its sensors and just like gets in the way of the sonic blast of one of its other ones, and like that just like bats it against the wall, and it goes down. It's still active, but it is knocked to the ground. So yeah, so now we've got Mice and Hannah, followed by on 1.
How close am I to the one that got knocked down?
You're in short range from it.
Would it's totally fine to say this is not doable at all, but would it be possible to like run up and try and essentially grapple it and turn it off? Like do some jury rigging?
Yeah, give me a technology roll.
All right. Technology and cunning?
Sure.
Can I add the jury rigging specialty as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. All right, so that's 3 successes plus an enhancement.
Yeah, so you would not be able to do this on like a functioning like up in the air drone, but you just get to it just in time to like find an exposed wire and just yank, and the thing shuts down.
Mice also does have a multi-tool embedded in their wrist, so I could pop that out.
Absolutely, that's rad.
That.
All right, what about Hannah?
I am going to activate my walking wounded skill trick. If you guys don't mind me using another momentum.
Go for it.
And basically, I'm gonna slap Bram with a steroid and a painkiller very quickly, so he doesn't get so he can still do stuff for the rest of the
Okay.
scene.
Yeah, absolutely. You basically apply some quick slapdashery,
I'll be better later. Sorry.
yeah, and like so Bram, you snap out of your stun condition.
Yeah.
Snap out of it.
Yappy out of it.
And so you are able to go this turn.
All right. Yeah, you kind of like you slap that over at me, and I just like I shake my head, and even as like the fog is clearing, I just lift my my gun and fire at I'll say the most distant one that I can get a bead on.
Okay, sure.
And let me see if make him dance can do anything. Give me just a second. Give me a second to look this up.
Brit?
I want to pet the kitten.
Yes.
It's like, he's creating so much attention tonight.
It is Simulacra Studio policy that cats can do whatever they want on my screen. So.
Unless she botches my
Everyone's such a-
dice, which does happen.
No, that's a problem.
Does
Well, now I can't find it, so I'm not going to worry about make him dance. I'm just going to shoot.
Okay.
So dexterity aim. Come on, thing I'm good at. Okay, there's at least one success. 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Okay, and plus the enhancement from your gun.
Yes. I'm going to be using. Yeah, I'll just be using regular. I'm not going to be using non-lethal ammo.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, enhancement is I think 3.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quality 2 weapon.
Yeah, so you are absolutely able to do damage to it and crit it, which is the extent of the damage you can do without scale. And yeah, you are able to do that, and you have 2 bonus successes if you want to like try and pin it down, or up your defense, or throw up to the enhancement pool.
I'll throw it in the enhancement pool.
Okay, so you guys have got 5 enhancement floating around. So we will move back to the top of the round where we have a PC on 4.
I'd like to go again.
Okay.
Go for it.
I'm gonna shoot this one again.
Okay, the one that Pram just hit.
Either that or the one I just, or it's the one I.
No, the one
hit
that you
still up?
hit. Mice was able to like scurry
Oh, okay.
over and disable.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'll focus fire.
Okay, so go ahead and make that roll.
That's right. And this time I won't forget that I have enhancement on my gun, which I just looked up. All right. Keep me my dices. 1, 2, 3. Nope, no 7s. But I got 2 10s. So it's 2. No, come back. 3 successes.
Okay, yeah, 3 successes. And what's the enhancement on your gun?
Yeah, 1. So
1,
4
okay,
total.
4. Yeah, you are absolutely able to take it out with another shot. So there's just 1 drone left. Nala is she will take a pot shot from her cover. Clearly, she is not good with a gun. She misses. So then that's going to be, and I will go for the sole remaining drone is going to take another shot at Frankie.
I roll my 3 dice for my stamina.
Actually,
2.
your defense stays the same for the.
Oh,
for the
okay.
Oof.
It's 1.
It's 1. Okay, awesome. Okay. 1. Right. So, what happens, they actually rolled pretty well on this one. You get face blasted with a like full-on concussive blast, and you gain the unconscious status. You go down.
Okay.
So then there is Hannah and Mice to go on this, or 2 1s and a 0 left to go. So whatever order you want to take it.
Is she-
I would like to go next if that's okay.
Yeah.
Bram like screams out and just unloads whatever he can into this bot.
Okay.
One, 2, 3, 4. One of those is a 10. 4 plus 2. An enhancement from the gun.
Okay. Yeah, you shoot it a couple times. If you want to take any of the floating enhancement to be able
Do
to
it.
crit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take 2 more enhancement from the air, and you crit it. So you pop two rounds into it, and it is swerving around, sort of madly going. So we've got Mice and Hannah.
I mean, I don't have a gun or anything, so I'll just.
You can take mine if you want. I'm still doing medicine stuff.
I also don't have any dots in aim, so it's not
Fair.
gonna be I can throw things at it. Actually, would I know how they track their targets? Is it like what sensors is it using?
Probably.
Because if it's optical in any way.
Yeah, it's probably optical. It does certainly seem to be focused on the people with weapons.
So what I'm gonna do is try to use my like hollow BioWare on my hands and try to essentially blind it or like dazzle it, just like flashlights to confuse its sensors.
Sure thing. Yeah, that will definitely add a complication onto it. If you want to
Awesome.
use that as your action.
Confuse it, and then I can shoot at it.
Is Hannah shooting or?
No, no. After you do your thing. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
Oh, I mean-
it just
You're
happened.
oh, sorry. I thought he was gonna
Yeah.
roll for it. I was like, yep. I'm just gonna shoot at it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Are there some more enhancements floating around?
Yeah, there are 3 more enhancements rolling around if you want to take it.
Sorry. So I had 1 success plus 1 enhancement from my pistol. What do I need to do to? Let's see. Sorry.
Just
that roll.
how many
It's been
total
a while.
successes did you get?
Well, I got 2, so I was trying to figure out if I need to do anything, if I need to use some of those enhancements to
yeah,
be able to actually hurt it.
With the enhancements that's floating around, you're definitely able to put one through its processor.
Okay, yep, I will do that.
And it falls to the ground. And we are out of combat.
Yay.
Yay.
Hey, Frankie.
She seems to have her bell rung. You can apply basic medical attention to her, and it'll bring her back out of it.
I will do so.
Yeah, just go ahead and give me a quick medicine roll.
Yes.
I'm gonna take the drone that I deactivated if it's not too.
Absolutely.
counted.
It is more intact than the rest of them because it was not shot
Yeah.
to destruction.
This might
We can
be
say
something
that.
to analyze.
Absolutely, you take it.
That is 2 success, 1 enhancement.
Okay, yeah, quick hit of stims, like some gauze in one of the nostrils where she burst a blood vessel, and yeah,
Ew.
Frankie is back up, little groggy, little bell rung, but
Dad, I don't want to go to school. Stop.
And I'll
I
just
give
kind
her
of very
one of the
surreptitiously.
expired painkillers.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of surreptitiously also use relief so she's alleviate the symptoms
yeah,
for the rest of the scene.
yeah, you just sort of completely come out of it, your head clears, and
Ugh.
you're back on it.
Fucking riot robots.
Nala, you alright?
She comes back out from around. You're like, I'm good. At least it wasn't bullets.
She kind of
Yeah.
kicks one of the robots. Yeah. All right.
So, like I
Graham,
said,
how you
this,
feeling?
Hmm?
Oh, sorry.
so yeah, like I said, this is about a small apartment size, sort of carved out alcove. Definitely looks like it has a very utilitarian, a very like sort of hidden data stash vibe to it. No
Right.
obvious terminals, but definitely some like server mount racks. Like I said, there's like barely emergency lighting, but you guys have light. You brought light with you. So, how are you guys tackling this place?
I'm gonna reach out again with my telekinesis and do sort of a scan.
Okay, go ahead and make that roll.
1, 2, 3, 2 of which are 10s. Another 10. Another 10. And a 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
So you reach out, you feel there doesn't seem to be like anything like hidden passages or things that you can like dig around in. You actually don't feel anything telekinetically. You feel a type of psi that you haven't experienced before. Like you can tell that it is psionic, but you can sort of look through the servers, look through the some of the desks, and you find a small. It's actually huge by modern standards. You find a laptop, sort of stashed away in one of the desks that has this very low, like psionic energy to it. Like it feels energetic. It feels like there's a mild bit of synesthesia as you get some like ozone coming off of it.
I hold it up because I don't know what it is. I kind of hold it up so like its hinge is dropping out. It's like, the hell is this?
It's a
That's
computer.
a laptop.
It's huge.
Well, I don't.
This is a computer. What are you talking about?
It's antique.
Like it's a
Gonna break-
monitor.
Put it on the desk.
You open the top. It's like you do this with it.
Well, like it's just way too fast.
Whoa,
Like,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
this?
whoa.
No. Delicate. Like you're opening.
Just stop touching it. We'll handle it.
Yeah.
I'll hand it over to you.
Frankie just kind of takes it and she kind of like goes over with Mice. Help me set this up.
Yeah, you guys are definitely going to need a tech roll because this is ancient technology.
On it.
All right, I'll assist you.
And telepathically, I'll inform Hannah of the weird psi
2,
feeling that I get.
In that thing?
3.
Yes.
I get 3 for you.
I also get 3.
Okay.
I
You
would have had
guys
5, but I got 2 ones.
Yeah,
so.
you guys are able to.
I don't think the ones cancel.
No, ones do not cancel. The only time
well,
ones
then I got
matter
5.
is if you get no successes whatsoever.
Sorry, I was playing World of Darkness over the weekend, so it's like what my
yeah.
brain is in.
It's fine. It's fine.
So 5.
So
then.
that's
All right.
technically
Yeah.
a total of 8.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys are able to find some things. You find like a power cord. You were able to like patch in, like you draw a line from the emergency power and get this thing plugged into power. You have to wait a little bit for it to charge, and
Hell is
eventually,
this?
yeah, it is. It is slow. It is slow. It's ancient. It is just bad design. Like there's some kind of like weird looking fruit on it.
What is High Sierra? I don't even know what that means.
But eventually it boots up and gets to a very, very bureaucratic, very bland looking login screen.
Ominously bland.
Trying to think if there's any special like edges that would help. Yes, a password.
I'm gonna try to use my sense to feel that sigh that Bram
Yeah.
told me about with it.
Yeah, you make me an attunement roll. Your highest mode plus your
I mean,
sigh rating.
yeah.
if you guys give me enough time with it, I can crack it.
1 success.
Yeah, you feel that's weird sense to it. That sort of like synesthetic ozone sensation. And like your mind just sort of focus on it, and like you feel electrons, like you feel the flow of energy, and like you sort of think back to like, okay, what are the orders, and eventually like you put the 2 and 2 connection, like, oh, electrokinesis. Like there is some lingering psionic electrokinetic presence on this.
I flashed that to Bram. Don't know what that means. Maybe somebody affected it with electrokinesis? Unclear.
I don't know. I don't really. I ain't got no familiarity with that, so maybe we could find someone who does. But I don't know. It's weird.
So while we're doing that, I'm actually looking around to see if I see any, like, a post-it note with a weird string of cryptic letters and numbers that might be a password.
Give me an enigmas roll.
Oof. Will keen sight apply?
Yes.
Sweet. One success, 2 enhancement.
Okay. Yeah, you look around. You start finding like some old printouts, some manuals, and eventually you do find kind of this old. You do find like the stereotypical thing that you should never have, which is a post-it note with like a couple of login IDs, like taped to the back of a server rack.
Yeah, you guys are your hand up. Pay dirt! I'm holding it up.
Awesome. Valens will take it, and she looks over at Mice. She goes, "You ready to learn some secrets?"
Always.
All right. So using this as my base, I'm going to spend my inspiration again and activate deep system scan, and we're going to go hunting on this here computer.
Okay. I need you to roll
boy.
intellect plus enigmas.
Oh, good. I'm good at this. Excellent. Yay. Do we have any momentum left?
Not sure.
You used 3.
I used 3.
I used 3.
He used 3.
1.
Yeah, but there was also a botch, so. Okay.
I
we
assume
should
we
have
at least
2?
have 2.
Yeah, we have at least 2.
So,
yeah.
I will use 1.
Yeah. That's right. I used 1 for a skill trick.
1, 2, 3, 4, and rolling. 5. Are you helping, Mice?
I actually don't have.
This is purely
Oh, it's
you.
just me.
There's
well, that would
nothing.
be
Nobody
5.
but you can roll on this. 5.
I also don't
successes.
have enigmas, so.
Okay. There is a 4-point complication on this roll.
Oh.
You can either buy off that complication and only get kind of like surface level access, or you can not buy off of complication and fully crack this thing open.
Oh, come on. You know the right answer to this.
Oh, I'm gonna fully crack this thing open. Fuck it.
Let's
Play.
Let's
play.
You basically do your wizardry. You enter in the password. You bypass a couple of like things that might be like biometric scans. You are a wizard at getting into places where you shouldn't digitally. And just as you hit the final keyboard and the access comes, a holographic fist manifests from the screen and punches you in the face. But it's not just light. It is electricity. You are getting a full blast of electricity in the face.
Awesome.
That is where we're going to leave off for this week.
Not the face, it's the money maker.
No, yeah, there's a problem. That's
awesome.
That's going to be a problem because this is not nice. All right, fantastic. So did everyone have fun today?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Love it. Okay, let's look at XP.
Mice is looking at that computer and being like, I have to learn how to program that. Awesome.
Bam. Oh, damn it. Not the face.
I mean, sorry about your nose and all, but that was amazing.
All right, so did anyone achieve a short-term aspiration?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
which
pretty
one?
sure he's got into trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I got you out of any trouble. Well, I did fix you.
Yeah, you brought her back. You woke her up.
Yay.
What about Meister Bram?
Nah,
I had to find out more about the Matrix room, but we didn't get to
Gotcha.
do that.
All right, so there's 2 XP there. Not everyone did get their short-term aspirations, so you don't get the group one. Did anyone achieve a long-term aspiration? Nope. All right, cool. You definitely did spend half your momentum in a single scene. So that's 1 for everybody. And I will say that you have reached a story milestone of getting down into the depths of Luna's secrets and getting your face punched. So that is another XP for everybody. All
welcome.
right.
I took 1 for the team.
Absolutely.
Sorry, how much is that total?
So the total of 2 if you did not achieve an aspiration, and 3 if you didn't. If you did, sorry. Blah. All right. Does anyone have anything they'd like to plug? All right, then I will plug myself and say if you like the show, if you want to support the show or the channel, you can obviously follow and subscribe to us here on Twitch or on YouTube. But the best way is to go to patreon.com/Simulacra Studios and become a patron. Get a lot of decent behind-the-scenes access, and the big money maker is access to our private Discord where you can chat with everybody. Thanks everyone out there for watching. Thank all of you for playing, and we'll see you all in 2 weeks for more Lunar Rocks.